Hello everyone, welcome to the new session of preparation of ketchups and chips. So in this session, we are going to study about how some of the industries that prepare ketchup and chips. So that we are going to cover up in this particular session. So first of all, the ketchup. Ketchup is also known as ketchup, red sauce, and tomato sauce. Is a sauce used as a condiment. So we can call this ketchup simply as a ketchup, red sauce, and sometimes simply the tomato sauce because the tomato has been used. Originally, the recipes used egg white, mushrooms, oysters, grapes, mussels, walnut, among other ingredients, but now the unmodified term usually refers to tomato ketchup. So many things are used. We used egg white even in that. Mushrooms are also used, oysters, grapes, mussels, walnuts. So these are some of the ingredients that are used in the preparation of ketchup, but it is simply called as tomato ketchup. Ketchup is a sweet and tangy sauce now typically made from tomatoes, sugar and vinegar with assorted seasoning and spices. So this ketchup is sweet and tangy sauce and they are typically made up of tomatoes, sugar and vinegar is also added in that, and seasoning and spices are also added, right? So this is tomato ketchup. When it is oyster sauce, then oyster is the main ingredient in that. When it is a mushroom sauce, then mushroom will be used in that. But when it is a tomato sauce, then it will be only tomato is there, but some other ingredients like sugar, vinegar, seasoning and spices are also added. The specific spices and flavors vary, but commonly include onions, allspice, coriander, cloves, cumin, garlic, mustard, and sometimes include the celery, cinnamon, and ginger also. Right? So basically, we are preparing the supposed tomato, right? But to enhance the flavor, we can add onion in that. We can add coriander, cloves. So these are some of the spices, right? Cloves, cumin. We can also add garlic and mustard in that, right? So it enhances the taste, flavor of the ketchup. Tomato ketchup is most often used as a condiment to dishes that are usually served hot and may be fried or greasy. So the food stuff that are quite fried and greasy, right? And it is hot, it's served hot also. Then we serve with tomato ketchup. French fries, hamburger, hot dogs, chicken tenders, tater tots, hot sandwiches, meat pies, cooked egg, and grilled or fried meat. For consuming these foods, we required ketchup, tomato ketchup. Without this ketchup, eating these French fries will not be easy. Okay, hamburger eating without this ketchup is not easy. Not easy means it will not give you a good taste. So to enhance the taste of so many food items, we require tomato ketchup. Ingredients to make ketchup. The main ingredients of ketchup are tomatoes, sweeteners, vinegar, salt, spices, flavorings, onion, and garlic. So onion and garlic are options. There are some ketchup, tomato ketchup that are devoid of any onion and garlic. They do not use onion and garlic, right? But there are some ketchup that contain the onion and garlic also to enhance the taste. The type of sweetener used are usually the granulated cane sugar or beet sugar. So beet sugar, if we are adding, then beside the sugar, the sweetener property, it is also adding the coloration. And generally we use cane sugar. Other sweetener include the dextrose or the liquid sugar in the form of corn or glucose syrup. So sometimes we use glucose syrup, sometimes we use the corn also, right? So these are or dextrose. So these are the other sweetener that can also be added along with the cane sugar or wheat sugar. The various brands of ketchup have slightly different formulas which vary primarily in the amount of spices or flavoring. So we are having so many brands of ketchup available today in our market, right? But it differ. What are the formula that they are having this different taste of the ketchup? Because of the spices they are using, because of the flavorings they are using, the ketchup taste get different, right? Thicker consistence require a greater ratio of sugar and spices relative to the tomato juice. So once the tomato juice is taken out, we add this sugar, we add the spices, right? And that provide the thicker consistency to the tomato ketchup. Occasionally, formula must be slightly adjusted according to the variations in the acid and sugar content of tomatoes, which occur with the changes in growing conditions and the type of tomato. So, according to the type of tomato we are using, our acid and sugar content increase or reduced, right? So this is the formula that the different brands are using to make the ketchup. Health benefits of tomato sauce. Yes, there is some health benefits while using this tomato sauce. What are those? It reduces risk of prostate cancer. Yes, very, very important point. It reduces the risk of prostate cancer in male. So eating tomato sauce 2 or more times a week reduces man's risk of developing prostate cancer by around 20%. So using consuming this tomato sauce in along with the food stuff is good. Second, it increases the sperm count. Yes, it increases the sperm count as well in man. Lycopene, which gives the tomato their red color, could also boost the male fertility, right? So this is also one of the very important point, health benefit of tomato sauce. Third one, it cuts the cholesterol. So cholesterol is not good for our health when it is formed in our body. So how to reduce? If we are consuming this tomato sauce in a good quantity, then it reduces the quantity of cholesterol formation in our body. Test carried out by a Finnish scientist found that the ketchup could cut low density lipoprotein, a bad cholesterol, that is also called as a bad cholesterol. It improves your eyesight as well as being high in the vitamin C and low in fat. Ketchup contain also vitamin E that is required for the pigment rhodopsin, formation of rhodopsin. So if we are having vitamin, then our eyesight will have good it increases the eyesight. So which is a key for a healthy immune system and perhaps crucially the good vision also. Fifth, it makes actually healthy food bearable to eat. Let's honest here. Despite the health benefits above, ketchup is also packed with sugar and salt. So it is possibly not the best thing for the serious health kick, right? So we are having the salt and sugar along with this. So it whatever the sugar is required our body, whatever the salt is required of body, they are having the so many spices in that. So the garlic, the onion, the ginger, that are good for our health. So if that is present in the tomato sauce, then it going to give you benefit to your health. Okay, cooling and labeling and packaging. So this is also one of the very important topic that we are going to study in this, how to cool this and how to label and pack. So the next topic for today, that is the chips. So how these chips are prepared. The potato Solanum tuberosum, this is the scientific name of the potato, is a fundamentally important as a staple food of humanity. Potatoes are grown and eaten in more countries than any other crop. So this is very, very important. Potato is eaten almost all over the country. And then it is eaten in more countries than any other crop. So this is required in all over the countries, right? So it is a cool season vegetable which is at par with wheat and rice as one of the most important staple crop in the human diet around the world, and has a specialized underground storage stem called tuber. So in India, if we talk about, every day we are consuming this potato. So whether we are using the vegetable, so many vegetables are made uh, uh, with the potato, right? Sometime along with other vegetables, mixed vegetable, then also we require this potato. If we are eating the burger, then also we are required this potato. If we are eating chips, then also we required potato. So every day in the different food stuff, in the form of different food stuff, we are consuming these potatoes. So here we will talk about chips, how to prepare chips. Major role of potato as a crop are mentioned below. As a hunger relieving crop, this is a hunger relieving crop because it contains a lot of carbs in that, right? And in the form of food, either fresh or processed, or as an animal food. It is also fed to animals also. So this is a very important crop. An item of commerce. So major roles of potato as a crop are mentioned below. This is an item of commerce, resource, biodiversity, right? Major roles of potato as a crop, that is also used as a feedstock in industry for the starch and alcohol. So from potato, alcohol is also prepared, starch is also prepared. So for the preparation of starch and alcohol, and for this we have set up a industry. So as a propagule from which to produce a next crop, and it is very easy to propagate this crop because tuber can grow vegetatively to the new crops. So it is very easy to grow new crops. Potato is one of the most important crop in the world today. It produces more protein and calories per unit area, per unit time, and per unit of water than any other major food plant. It also contains phosphorus, calcium, iron, and some vitamin C and A. Protein calorie ratio is high. 1 hectare of potato can yield 22 to 23 metric ton of production. So production rate is quite high in case of potato. It is versatile, carbohydrate rich food, highly popular worldwide, and prepared and served in a variety of ways, making them a good source of energy. So it is ultimate source of energy, right? And we can prepare a good variety of food with this potato. It is a carbohydrate rich food, highly popular worldwide. Freshly harvested, it contains about 80% water and 20% dry matter. And about 60 to 80% of the dry matter is starch. India ranked second as the world's largest potato producing nation after China. So we stand second for the production of potato. China is the first position. Since 1990, per capita consumption of potato has risen from around 12 kg to 17 kg per year. So we have risen the production of potato even. Indian scenario of potato. In India, potato is not primarily a rural staple but a cash crop that provides significant income to the farmers. So that is why the farmers take a good interest in producing this potato. Potato are grown on the Indo-Gangetic plain during the short winter days from October to March, while some year-round production took place in relatively high altitude areas in the south even. So the area which are at a high altitude in the southern part of the country also take interest to grow these potato. Otherwise, the Indo-Gangetic plain take this area is very good for growing the potato in winter season, that is from October to March. Potato is one of the most important crop in the world today. Worldwide, potato is the third most important food crop after rice and wheat. So after rice and wheat, what is required more? That is potato, right? Potato can be used for making chips, wafers, flakes, flour, soup, gravy thicker, and even the pancakes. So not only it is required for making chips, but it is also required for making wafers, flakes, flour, soup, gravy thicker, and even the pancakes. The processing of potato chips. Now comes we are going to discuss how to make chips now. The processing of potato chips, processing is determined with three different models for the various potato chips. What are those? Manual potato chips line. Manually, the potato chips are made. Semi-automatic potato chips processing line. So, some machines are used, and fully automatic potato chips production line, right? So, at small scale, we can use manually, we can make chips on a bit larger than that is a semi-automatic potato, and a higher level commercially, that is fully automatic potato chips production line. The potatoes are loaded into the vertical helical screw conveyor, which allows stones to fall to the bottom and pushes the potato up to conveyor belt to the automatic peeling machine. So there is an automatic peeling machine that peel out the cover of the potato. Destoning and peeling. So after they have been peeled, the potato are washed with cold water. So or whatever the dust or the soil that is attached to that, it peeled out. When after peeling out, this is washed with the cold water to avoid all those soil particles and other dirt that is got stuck to those peeled potato. The potato passes through a revolving impaler presser that cuts them into the paper thin slices between 1.7 to 1.85 millimeter in thickness. So this now comes the impaler or presser term that cuts the potato in such a thin paper thin slices that is around 1.7 to 1.85 millimeter thick. So straight blades produce regular chips, while rippled blades produces ridge potato chips. So we are having two different types of chips, flat and the one that is having like this ridges potato. Like this, we can have ridges on this. So two types of potatoes are there. For making this type of potato, we use straight blades, that is the regular chips, and rippled blades that produces ridge potato chips. So two types of potato, regular chips and ridge potato chips. So this is made according to the blade that we are using. The slices fall into the second cold water wash that remove the starch released when the potatoes are cut. So when the potatoes are cut, whatever the starch is present there, that is released, right? So we wash it second time in the cold water. Some manufacturers who market their chips as a natural do not wash the starch of the potatoes. So there are some of the brands that says that they are using all this in the form of natural. So they are not washing at this level, this potato chips. If the potatoes need to be chemically treated to enhance their color, it is done at this stage. The potato slices are immersed in the solution that has been adjusted for pH, hardness, and the mineral content. So here the potato slices are immersed in a solution that has been adjusted for the pH, hardness, and the mineral content. Frying and salting. The slices passes under air jets that removes excess water as they flow into 40 to 75% feet, right? So it removes whatever the excess water is there as it passes through under air jets, right? And the oil temperature is kept at around 180 to 250 degrees centigrade. Paddles gently push the slices along. As the slices tumble, salt is sprinkled from the receptacles positioned above the trough at the rate of about 1.75 lb of salt each 100 lb of chips. So when the chips are moving to go for the frying, some salt are added, and this is maintained how much amount of salt we are adding, right? So to have a consistent taste. So to this salt is sprinkled over the receptacle position, from the receptacle position over these moving chips. Potato chips that are to be flavored passes through a drum filled with the desired powdered seasoning. So sometimes there are different taste, like flavored chips are available, onion flavor, tomato flavor, right? So to provide that flavor, that powdered seasoning is added, right? So these potatoes are passed with the drum filled with these powdered seasoning. At the end of the trough, a wire mesh belt pulls out the hot chips. As the chips move along with the mesh conveyor belt, excess oil is drained off and the chips being too cold. So when they are fried, they are set up so that whatever the excess amount of oil is that get drained off, and the chips are allowed to cool at that time. They then move under the optical storer that picks out any burnt slices and removes them with the puffs of air. So there are some optical sorter also. If there is any chips that got burnt, right? So that can be removed out. The chips are conveyed to the packing machine with a scale. Now here comes the packing of the chips. So as the preset weight of the chips is measured, a metal detector checks the chips once more for any foreign matter, such as metal pieces that could have come with the potatoes or being picked up in the frying process. So this is also one of the very important steps that must be done, that there is a metal detector that detect any metal piece if it is present by mistake along with the chips, or if it is present in the frying pan, right? So that metal piece should be removed out before getting packed. The bags flow down from the roll. A central processing unit code on the bag tells the machine how many chips that should be released into the bag. So according to the weight, the amount of chips that is going to be packed up, so that is finalized in the central processing unit. As the bag forms, heat seals the top of the filling bag and seals the bottom of the next bag simultaneously. Gates open and allow the proper amount of chips to fall into the bag. So there opens a bag that allow the proper amount of chips to get enter into the bag before sealing the top and bottom of the bag. The filling process must be accomplished without letting an overabundance of air into the bag, while also preventing the chips from breaking. So two things are very, very important at this packing time, that the chip should not be broken and also the air should not be present. Right? So many manufacturers use nitrogen to fill the space in this bags instead of air. Right? Because if air is there, then the oil is there, so oxygenation of the oil takes place and it can degrade the quality of the chips, right? So to avoid that, nitrogen is filled in this bag. When the nitrogen is filled in the bag is quite puffed, and it also avoid the breaking of the chips, right? So the seal bags are conveyed to the collator and handpicked into the cartons. So this is all about this session. We have completed the chips part, right? Thank you very much.